Imagine this. Tonight, while you're sleeping, the temperature outside suddenly drops to minus 40 degrees Celsius. The electricity shuts off. Your heater dies. Your phone loses its signal. By morning, your house is buried beneath several feet of snow. The grocery stores are empty. The roads have disappeared. And the nearest help is hundreds of miles away. Now imagine surviving like that. Not for one night, not for one winter, but for your entire life. Because this wasn't a nightmare. For thousands of years, this was reality. Long before cities, long before civilization, long before warm homes, winter jackets, and central heating, our ancestors lived through some of the coldest environments the human species has ever faced. And what's truly unbelievable is that they didn't just survive, they adapted. By the end of this documentary, you'll understand why many scientists believe winter became one of the greatest forces shaping human evolution. Because surviving the Ice Age wasn't simply about being stronger than everyone else, it was about becoming smarter, more cooperative, and sometimes making decisions that no modern person would ever want to face. This is the terrifying story of how ancient humans survived deadly winter. Around 20,000 years ago, Earth looked almost unrecognizable. Enormous ice sheets stretched across huge parts of North America and Northern Europe. Some glaciers stood thousands of feet thick. Entire valleys disappeared beneath solid ice. Sea levels were much lower than they are today because so much of Earth's water was locked inside frozen glaciers. The landscape looked beautiful from a distance. But beauty can be deadly. The air itself wanted to kill you. In many places, temperatures regularly dropped far below freezing. Powerful winds stripped away body heat faster than most people can imagine. Snow covered the ground for months. Sometimes the sun barely appeared. For prehistoric humans, winter wasn't a season. It was an enemy. And every year, it came back. Most people imagine that ancient humans spent all day fighting dangerous animals. But according to archaeologists, their greatest enemy wasn't always predators. It was simply staying warm. Your body works like a furnace. Even while you're sitting still, it's constantly burning energy to keep your internal temperature around 37 degrees Celsius. Now imagine standing outside in freezing winds all day. Every breath steals heat. Every step through deep snow burns precious calories. Every hour your body works harder just to keep your organs alive. Modern people rarely think about body heat. Our ancestors thought about almost nothing else. Because the moment your body stops producing enough heat, everything begins shutting down. First, your fingers lose feeling, then your toes. Simple tasks become impossible. You can't tie knots, you can't make tools, you can't even grip a spear properly. Eventually, confusion sets in. Your decisions become slower, your muscles refuse to obey, and finally, your body quietly gives up. Hypothermia doesn't always feel painful. Sometimes, it simply convinces you that lying down sounds like a good idea. And that decision can be your last. Ancient humans didn't understand the biology behind hypothermia, but they understood something even more important. If you stop fighting the cold always wins. The problem wasn't just freezing. Winter destroyed almost every source of food. Spring offered fresh plants. Summer brought berries, fish, and active animals. Autumn allowed people to prepare, but winter erased nearly all of it. Trees became empty. The ground froze solid. Many animals migrated away. Others entered hibernation. Even rivers became walls of ice. Every hunting trip became more dangerous than the last. Imagine walking for hours through waist-deep snow. Your stomach is already empty. Your children haven't eaten properly for days. You finally discover animal tracks. Hope returns. Then the trail disappears beneath fresh snowfall. Now you're cold, hungry, exhausted, and farther from home than ever before. This wasn't a rare disaster. For many prehistoric families, this was simply winter. Yet something remarkable happened. Humans refused to disappear. Unlike mammoths, unlike saber-toothed cats, unlike countless other Ice Age animals, our ancestors kept adapting. Instead of evolving bigger bodies, they evolved bigger ideas. They learned to observe nature, to remember patterns, to share knowledge, to prepare months before winter ever arrived. Every successful winter taught a lesson. Every mistake became knowledge for the next generation. Slowly, survival itself became humanity's greatest invention. But there was still one terrifying problem. Knowing winter was coming didn't guarantee you could survive it, because eventually, every family faced the same impossible question. How do you stay alive when there is almost nothing left to eat? And the answer would push prehistoric humans further than anyone had ever imagined. In fact, the discoveries archaeologists later uncovered inside ancient caves would completely change the way we understand Ice Age survival. Some of those discoveries are so disturbing that many people have never even heard about them. And that's where our story goes next. Winter didn't just make the world colder, it made every single calorie precious. Today, if you miss dinner, it's an inconvenience. For an Ice Age hunter, missing one successful hunt could begin a chain of events that ended with an entire family starving, because in extreme cold, your body becomes incredibly expensive to keep alive. Even while sleeping, it burns enormous amounts of energy simply to maintain a safe body temperature. Every step through deep snow, every icy wind against your skin, every hour spent searching for food cost precious calories. And once your body burns more energy than it receives, the countdown begins. This is why archaeologists have discovered something surprising at many Ice Age campsites. The ancient hunters weren't always interested in the biggest pile of meat. They were searching for something much more valuable: fat. To us, fat often has a bad reputation, but to prehistoric humans, fat meant life. Gram for gram, fat contains more than twice the energy of protein. During freezing winters, that extra energy could keep a family alive for days. Researchers studying Ice Age animal remains have found countless broken leg bones from mammoths, bison, horses, and reindeer. At first, these looked like ordinary leftovers. But closer examination revealed something fascinating. The bones had been deliberately smashed open while they were still fresh. Not to remove the meat, to reach the rich marrow hidden inside. Bone marrow is packed with fat, vitamins, and nutrients. Even after an animal's muscles had been stripped away, its bones still contained one of the most valuable foods in the frozen world. Nothing was wasted. Not the marrow, not the brain. Sometimes not even the skin. Because survival left no room for luxury. But finding food became harder with every passing week. The giant herds didn't always stay nearby. Many migrated hundreds of miles. Others disappeared beneath blizzards. A failed hunt wasn't just disappointing, it was terrifying. Imagine tracking a mammoth across frozen plains for 2 days. Your feet are numb. Your water has frozen. Your stomach is already empty. Finally, you catch up to the herd, but mammoths weren't helpless giants. A fully grown woolly mammoth could weigh 6 tons. One mistake could leave a hunter crushed beneath its feet, or pierced by tusks longer than a grown man. Every hunt was a gamble. Sometimes humans won, sometimes they never returned home. Scientists believe successful mammoth hunts required something few other predators possessed: planning. Today was built by people who refused to give up.